like what he's done. Who's your most overrated head coach? I think that we both agree that's probably Bruce Arians.
Yeah, I don't like Bruce Arians. And for the sake of some diversity, right, I agree with you on 100%. I think Bruce Arians was a great head coach a couple of years ago, maybe like a decade ago, right? But for today's NFL, when I'm hearing things like, well, I'm not going to throw a bunch of times to the tight end, when he was asked the question, why is Rob Gronkowski not getting more targets? Why would you not use all the tools that you have in your toolbox if you're Bruce Arians? I think he is a guy that developed a lot of really good quarterbacks, right? But he's kind of, I think the game has passed him up a little bit. I'm not sure if he's the same dude that he was a couple years ago when he was coaching in was it Arizona, when he was coaching in Indianapolis. I'm not sure if he's that dude anymore. So
yeah. So I mean, I had Bruce Arians ranked as the 14th best head coach in the NFL, and he was sort of near the bottom of that tier 2. He was right teetering on tier 3. And when you're ranked 14th at your position out of 32 head coaches, that means you're slightly above average, because 16 is average. I think Bruce Arians is a slightly above average coach. I think that most people kind of consider him, maybe not on Mike Tomlin or Bill Belichick's level, but some people, have said he's this offensive guru, he's this great head coach, and I think he's good, but he's not great. Not anymore, at least, And the thing about Bruce Arians is he's loose, he's fun. He doesn't like to, adjust his system, And you think of guys like, let's talk about quarterbacks, Rodgers, Brady, Breeze, Russell Wilson. Those guys are precise. They're efficient. You look at the football teams that are successful. The Patriots, the Packers last year. We didn't turn the football over a whole lot, even though we weren't very dynamic on offense. We were efficient. We didn't turn the football over. You look at that Tampa Bay team last year. They were a mess because they were very talented, but that was one of the least detail-oriented team I've ever seen, because I actually did a Jameis Winston film analysis video because I wanted to dive in to see what was going on with Jameis, why he throws so many interceptions, what's going on with that team, how Tom Brady can fit in with that team. And I saw a team that just was penalized so many times. You take on the personality of your head coach. Your football team does, usually. Your head coach and your quarterback. That's why I think that he's a little bit overrated. He's a good coach, but I recently picked Tampa Bay to win the Super Bowl. I know you disagree with that, but yeah. I will say, if they fail, maybe it's because Tom Brady is washed. Maybe it's because, the team might not be as good as Seattle or Green Bay. But I got to say, if I were to project, why might Tampa Bay fail? They might fail because of Bruce Arians and his stubbornness as a head coach. That's all I'm going to say.
You know how I feel about such matters. If they fail, and I think they will fail, it's because their quarterback's arm is shot. I don't think he's got it anymore, man. I don't. We can go off on this tangent if you want to. I don't think Brady's got it. I think you saw it week 1. He ain't got the juice. You the juice alert, right? You should be able to see this, man. He ain't got the juice in his arm anymore, man.
Well, I said that in a recent episode. Give me till about week 8. If they're struggling in week 8, okay, fine. I'll give it up. I'll say maybe this team isn't as good as I thought, but on the road, 13-win team, good team in New Orleans that has continuity. Tom Brady's learning a whole new system, a lot of new offensive parts. I just want to see how they are by about week 8. But if they're struggling by week 8, you might have me. I might move off that pick, but we'll see. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.